January is almost here, guys, and it seems like is there going to be a collapse because there's a lot of warnings right here. Listen to this. US percent of yield curve inversions. What do we see right here? Every time we have went above the 70% threshold, look what took place in the United States, guys. Inflationary bust, a double dip recession, that crisis, tech burst, housing bubble. That you guys can see, right? Recession that just took place recently. Then we are actually above, guys. We are at 91% now. Wow. If this is going to foreshadow the future, what's going to happen in the future? Well, again, a collapse, right? BlackRock Fund predicts, quote, most painful recession in history, end quotes, in 2023. Guys, it's not going to be a recession. If we're going to collapse, it's not a recession. It's literally a Great Depression, if not worse, guys, right? And this is BlackRock stating it. So this is why I believe we're not going to collapse in January or the Q1 of 2023, guys, right? We're not going to collapse. It's not going to happen. Why? Because all of these people are stating it. How much do you want to bet that right before the collapse, everyone is supposedly bullish, right? None of these people are going to state that there's a incoming recession or a collapse. None of them will, guys, right? If you do see one, it's going to be very rare. So I'll just be careful. I mean, anything is possible because the FTX Black Swan did take place, right? A Black Swan we cannot predict, guys, ahead of time. The Fed has never raised rates faster, right? We just talked about this. But listen, Elon Musk has been very active. You know why? Because he's been tweeting a lot about the economy recently. At the risk of being repetitive, these fund rate increases might go down in history as the most damaging ever. Wow, even he's starting to warn people, guys, that there's supposedly an upcoming collapse, right? Why? Because look at this, guys. It could go down in history as the most damaging ever with the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, right? And look at that, guys. Actually, absolutely just crazy. Once again, this is why I believe they're going to delay it, guys, right? If Elon was in charge, he would drop it 0.25%. I believe, look at this, trend is concerning. Fed needs to cut interest rates immediately. Wow! Whoa! They are massively amplifying the probability of a severe recession. What do we believe, guys? February, 50 basis point hike. Then pause, right? Because they cannot go any higher. What happens after the pause? They're going to start cutting interest rates down. That means we're going to pump till 2024. Then the collapse takes place in 2024, 2025, guys. We're not making any of this stuff up, right? At the same time, all that is happening, Bank of England cryptocurrency market is too dangerous to be unregulated. Bloomberg. But wait a minute. Every sane person, central banking cartel is too dangerous as it has been left unregulated and unsupervised since inception. If they think a $1 trillion market is too dangerous, have they looked at the banking system, right? No, because they are puppets, guys. They are merely puppets, right? They can't go against the system. They can't even speak against the system itself, guys. If they did, they were going to get fired, right? If not worse. Come on, guys. From Charles Hoskinson. Not a single mention of Cardano. Pretty low and pretty sad. I honestly expected better. 2023 crypto market outlook from Coinbase, guys. Are you mad at Coinbase now, right? This is fascinating. You know why? Brutalizing. Because look at this. I found something interesting, guys. A lot of regulation talk. But my question is, can they delay till 24, 25? Just around the collapse, right? Just if they can, guys, that will be the most craziest thing ever. But maybe 2023 is when regulations do come into play, right? Why? Because from Coinbase, against the backdrop of the 2022 crypto winter, we present 3 key themes expected to prevail in 2023, as well as updates on Bitcoin, Ethereum regulation, and more. Wow. I don't know if... Imagine, guys, if they truly did delay regulations right before the collapse. That would be just... At that point, I wouldn't be surprised, guys. I would not be shocked at all, right? Another thing, listen to this. They named the Bitcoin and Ethereum, but did they name XRP? No, right? Ripple? No. Now, regulations, I found something interesting here, guys. Let's check this out. Look at this right here. So, basically, that could mean markets may price permission liquidity pools that are compliant with anti-money laundering KYC regulations, right? So they're talking about DeFi, if I'm not mistaken, guys. You guys can check this out. But you guys can see how there needs to be what? Know your customer, right? These things coming into play. Why? Because there's a narrative going on about what? Money laundering. You know why this is crazy? Binance, the great fall of the secret societies continues. Look at this, guys. Global drug conspiracy used Binance to launder millions in crypto. DEA investigation finds. Wow, a lot of launder talk, right? They're pinning this narrative against what, guys? Against all these exchanges, all cryptos and blockchain itself, for what? Regulations to be set in place, right? This is just crazy to me. I can't believe it, guys. We talked about how they always do this, right? A gang operating across the US, Mexico, Europe, and Australia used the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, to launder tens of millions in drug proceeds, according to an ongoing investigation by the US Drug Enforcement Administration. Between $15 and $40 million in illicit proceeds may have been funneled through Binance, the DEA alleged, guys, through Binance. Of course, there we go. It's Binance is being targeted for another reason, right? On top of all the other things we've been talking about, guys. Binance, guys, I know for a fact, well, my belief is Binance, Bitfinex, all these people, Tether, USDT, have to collapse, guys. If it's not going to happen now, it's going to happen during the collapse, right? It's super simple and super easy. Now, the previously underreported case provides rare insights into how Mexican-based narcotics dealers are increasingly looking to cryptocurrency exactly as a means to obscure illicit business transactions. There we go, guys, right? At the same time, it shows federal agencies moving to track illegal use of cryptocurrency, once touted as untraceable, and how closely they work with exchanges like Binance to track organized crime. Which means it's all centralized at the end of the day, guys, right? This is crazy. We're going to be talking about how no one is safe in the future. So if you're hacking, if there has been quote unquote stealing of cryptos, hacking, right, quote unquote hacking of these things in the future, you'll probably be able to figure out who was behind that all along, right? Because it's all trackable, guys, right? It's a ledger that never sleeps, basically. Look at this. Quote, this is actually an example of where the transparency of blockchain transactions works against criminal actors, right? The bad guys are leaving a permanent record of what they're doing, right? The ledger that never sleeps. Do we see how the future world will look like, guys? How everything will become centralized to the maximum, to the higher degrees, right? And they're going to put these narratives against everything that's happening in the crypto industry to what? Bring in regulations on top of the FTX debacle that took place recently as well, right? So come on, guys, it's so easy. It's so easy to see what's going to happen in the future. And the cherry on top, listen to this: how it started, how it's going, right? First you were sent an email to withdraw. Then I can't withdraw due to suspension. I already lost 15K during 6 days of suspension. What is that? Binance, right? This is all 12/20, guys. 22. Scam alert. It has been 7 days since Binance froze my withdrawals, and every day they ask me for new information and now provide a source of wealth. After FTX, they are aiming for large investors to block their money. It's been 6 days since Binance suspended my withdrawals, and I asked Binance support to solve my issue, but they are just buying time, and there is no straightforward response. As a verified 5-year user for Binance, I really feel disappointed, right? 12/20/22, by the way. So he just got Binanced, guys. I'll be careful of Binance, right, to say the least, if that is true. Wow, Alameda was long USDT, short USD on margin on the FTX platform. Look at this, guys. You can't make this stuff up. How much manipulation? There is so much manipulation that it's actually mind-boggling, right? Got shorts? Check out shorttether.com. Let's talk about Tether. Later that same day, on November 8th, Ellison stated in a chat message that apparently part of what's going on is that Alameda is actually has a long USDT short USD margin position on FTX US that we aren't tracking, and said, which is why FTX US has less USD than we thought it should. Right? Listen to this. This might explain why CZ was worried so much that SBF could depeg Tether. I believe that's also why CZ came up with this offer to bail out FTX. Interesting. Just to make sure SBF couldn't dump Tether. Also, the CTO of Tether flew to the Bahamas during the collapse of FTX, right? This right here. Wow. Breaking. CTO of Tether visited Sam Bankman-Fried, former FTX CEO, in the Bahamas, then took a private jet to El Salvador. Right? You can't make this stuff up, guys. There's so much shady stuff happening. You know why? It's because they can't let Tether collapse right now, because they have it planned for a specific moment in time. When is that? I believe it's right during the collapse, guys. Right? At that point in time, it's going to be the biggest rug pull in man-made history. Why? Because if we have another bull run upwards, the Tether bubble is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Way bigger than FTX debacle, guys. Plus Binance, oh yeah, it's game over. But we will be on the right side of history. Why? Because we are invested into XRP, not financial advice. But anyways, that's all for you guys for today's video. Amazing day, guys. See ya.